Hi there and welcome to the Easy Web class. This is part 2 of Microsoft Word 2010. Now, the next session we'll cover is learning how to use your toolbar. Your toolbar is also known as the ribbon, and it's used to enhance your documents so that you can change the size and color and so forth of any document. Now let's take a look at our first tab. Our first tab is the Home tab. If you look at the bottom of each section, you'll see a header. The first header is the clipboard, and your clipboard is used to cut, copy, and paste words. Next to it, you'll see the font section, and in your font section, you can change the type, the size, you can change the appearance of the font, as well as the color of the font. Next to that is your paragraph. In your paragraph, you can change your alignment, add bullets. You can also indent on your document. You can add indentation to your document, and you can put in color. Now, to the right of that, you'll see that you also have styles, and styles allow you to give it a totally different look. So you can change your font with the style, and it's really good to use this for your headers. Okay, next we have our Insert tab. Under our Insert tab, you can insert a cover page, you can even put in a blank page, and you can enter page breaks. Next to that is your tables. If you want to create a table for your document, you can do so under this section. Next, you have your illustrations. This is where you'll find your pictures, clip art, shapes, and smart art. You can even use charts and take a screenshot to add to your document. Now, next to that is your links. You can use hyperlinks so that if someone clicks on it, it'll actually take them to a different page. You have bookmark and cross-references under this particular section. Next to that is your header and footer section, where you can add a header or a footer or both, and you can also insert page numbers. Now the next section is your text, and this is where you can add word art. So if you've been looking for word art, this is where you would find it. You can also add a text box, you can add signature lines, date and time, and also you can insert objects. The last thing you can do would be your symbols, and your symbols will allow you to create an equation or to add symbols to your document. The next tab is the page layout. Under your page layout, you can add themes. You can also change your margins. You can change the orientation from a landscape to a portrait. You can change the size. You can even add columns. You can add page breaks here as well. And you can add line numbers. If you need to put in hyphenations, you can do it under this particular section. Now let's go to your page background. Under your page background section, if you need to add a watermark, you can do that under this particular header. Now go under watermark, and you can use your own watermark that you have created, or there are some pre-designed watermarks that are installed. You can change your page color and add a page border. In your next section, you have paragraphs. Here, once again, you can change your indentation, and if you want to change the spacing, you can do it here as well. The last section is your arrange. This is where if you have a picture, and if you want to position it or wrap text around it, bring it forward or send it backward, or align the page, you can do that under this particular header. Now our next section will be the reference tab, and your reference tab is used if you're working on a paper. Let's say you're putting together a term paper, or perhaps you're putting together a proposal or even a business plan in which you may need a table of contents. You can create a table of contents very easily under your reference tab. You can also go to your next section, which is the footnotes. If you need to insert a footnote, you can do that. It will automatically renumber the footnotes as you begin to add different footnotes. You can also add endnotes if you need to add those into your document. You can also add your citations and your bibliographies here. Okay, this is a great section to utilize once again if you're putting together a paper. Now, for those of you that may be in college, or if you've been instructed by someone to place something in a APA format, again, APA style is a little different. You can also place something in different styles, but the most popular right now, I believe, is the APA style. If you need to do that, once again, that will be found under your reference tab, and go under your citations and bibliography, and you'll find that. Next, you can add captions. If you need to add a caption to a picture, you can do that. You can also insert a table of figures. You can mark your entries, and you can also mark your citations. Now, next we have our mailing tab. And your mailing tab is used to create envelopes as well as labels. Okay? Now, you can create these labels very simply by merging them with products that come from your Microsoft Outlook, or you can use Excel. Now, you can do your mail merger and actually extract that information into your Microsoft Word in order to create these envelopes or labels. You can also use letters. Okay? Now, at the if you look at the top where it says Start Mail Merger, it's going to ask you, where to start from. It will walk you through it. What I suggest doing is using the wizard that they have. The wizard is really neat. It'll walk you through step by step. Okay. Now you can edit the recipient's name under your Start Mail Merger. If you go under your Write and Insert fields, you can highlight the merged fields. You can set up an address blocks and so forth if you're doing labels. Go over to your preview results. Under your preview results section, this is when you can take a look at how everything will appear. Okay? And then the last thing you have is your finish. Under your finish section, this is when you finish and you actually do your merge. Okay, so that's the section under your mailings. Okay, next let's take a look at our review tab. Okay, now your review tab is a great feature that it has. I love the review tab because it allows you to proofread a document. You can proofread a document, or you may have someone else that may want to proofread your document. So this is where you can check your spelling and your grammar. You can take a look at your thesaurus, the word count, and you can also make changes throughout your document with using these different features. The next section is language. What if you wanted to put it in a different language? If you wanted to put maybe a document together, place it on the internet, but you wanted it to be available in various languages, you can do so using that language option. The next thing is your comment. If you have someone that's proofing it, they can put in their document they can put in their comments, should I say. They can put in their comments so that you can review them and see why they felt a certain word was necessary or what they suggested you can do during or in your document. So you may have a comment that says this is a run-on sentence, so forth. It may say you need to emphasize more in this particular sentence. That's what your comments are for. Okay. The next thing is tracking. You can track your changes. Okay. You can track your changes so that you can see exactly what the changes are. You can review them. You can look at the markup. You can show the final markup of all the changes that have been made. The next thing is that you can accept or reject your changes. You can take a look at them one by one. The next thing is that you can compare. You can take your original document and the one that has been edited so that you can decide if you do want to accept the one that has been edited or if you want to go back to your original document. The other thing you can do that's really great is that you can restrict editing. You can take a portion of your document and actually restrict the editing. So, this is a great feature to use if you're putting together a paper, a term paper, and so forth, and you want someone to proof it, or it's a great feature to use if someone else has Microsoft Word 210 and they send you a document and they want you to review it for them. Because it's kind of tedious, right? If someone sends you a document and then you need to print it off and make changes and it gets real sloppy, it gets, kind of complicated to review. Well, use this feature here. It's a great feature to use. Now, the last tab that we'll cover is called the View tab. And your View tab is pretty self-explanatory. It allows you to view the document in various ways. You can look at your print layout, your full screen reading, what it would look like if you're creating a web page. You can look at the outline or the draft. So this allows you to see the views. What's important here that I find a lot of people email me on is under Show. And you can show your ruler And your ruler is what really gauges your margins and so forth to show you where everything starts and ends at. So you want to make sure your check mark is under ruler. The other thing you can do is your grid lines. So if you want to see what your grid lines are like, this is where you find it under your view. You can also zoom. You can zoom in so you can see your pages. You can select 1 or 2 pages. You can take a look at your page width. The other thing you can do here that's really great is that you can open up your different windows. If you want to see more documents side by side, you can do that. You can create a new window, you can arrange it, you can split it. So this is a great feature to utilize if you have more than one document that you want to look at. Okay. The other thing is that you can create macros, and macros are commands that you can record so that you can have your computer or the program to actually do certain functions automatically. Okay, so that's what your macros are for. So that's about it. That's it for understanding the ribbon under Microsoft Word 210. So this is just a very basic introductory course here that just shows you what Microsoft Word 2010 entails. So if you're wondering where things are at, this is the video that you need to preview so that you can familiarize yourself with where everything is at. So start at the beginning, take a look at it so that you know how to find various things. That is the biggest thing I get email on, is where do I find the ruler? Where do I find this, that, and the other? This is how you find out. Take a look at this video, go through it, and familiarize yourself with each tab. So I just want to thank you for joining. This is the Easy Web Class. This is Cheryl Robinson signing off, and I thank you for joining.